You have already studied different landforms such as mountain ranges, hills, plateaus, plains. The physical features of a region affect the life of the people there. That is why we have to study them. Now, let us study about physical divisions of India. The physical divisions of India are as follows. 1. The northern mountainous region. 2. The North Indian Plains. 3. The Indian Plateau. 4. The coastal lowlands. 5. The Indian Islands. 1. The northern mountainous region. In the northern and eastern part stretches the mountainous region. It comprises the Himalayan and other mountain ranges. The Himalayas stretch from Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh. The Himalayas in India are divided into two sections, the Eastern and Western Himalayas. The Central Himalayas lying in between are in Nepal. The Himalayas have three parallel ranges. From south to north, they are the Shivalik, the Himachal, and the Great Himalayas. The height of these ranges increases as we go towards the north. Apart from these, we have the Zanskar, Ladakh, and Karakoram ranges, and the Ladakh Plateau in western Himalayas. There are many lakes here. Some of them are saltwater lakes. Many rivers have their sources here. The rivers have cut deep valleys in this region. We find the Sipkila, Jojila, Niti, Karakoram, Banihal, and other passes here. The height of the Himalayas is about 600 to 8,000 meters or more. K2, Gasherbrum, Nanga Parbat, Nanda Devi are some of the high peaks in these ranges. Among them, K2, 8,611 meters, is the highest peak in India. The height of the Himalayas decreases as we move towards the east. Kanchenjunga, 8,598 meters, is the highest peak in the eastern Himalayas. Many rivers have their source here and they flow towards the south. We see the passes Nathula, Jelepla, Bomdila here. Patkoi, Naga, Lushai are known together as Purvanchal, eastern ranges. The Garo, Khasi, and Jaintia ranges are on the Meghalaya plateau. The Himalayas stop the cold northerly winds from blowing towards the Indian plateau and protect it from severe cold. 2. The North Indian Plains. The North Indian Plains lie between the northern mountainous region and the Indian Plateau region. This region has become very fertile due to the rich silt brought by the rivers. The height of this plain is up to about 300 meters. As shown in 9.2, this plain is divided into two parts, the eastern and the western plains. The western plains are formed by the fertile soil brought by the Sutlej and its tributaries. The southern part of the western plain is a dry desert region as the rainfall there is scanty and no big river flows through the region. This is the Great Indian Desert. There are many saltwater lakes here. The eastern plain is formed by the fertile soil brought by the Ganga and its tributaries. The plains formed by the silt brought by the Brahmaputra and its tributaries are also a part of these plains. The water in all these rivers is in plenty. The level of silt brought by these rivers rises and hence they frequently flood. Some of them even change their course. Kosi and Gandak are known for this. 3. The Indian Plateau region. This physical division is very vast. Its height is between 300 to 1,500 meters. Most of it is flat, but there are some mountain and hill ranges in this region. The rivers Narmada and Son have divided the Indian plain into two parts: A, the northern plateaus, and B, the southern plateaus. Now let us gather information about A, the northern plateaus. This region includes the plateaus of Marwar, Mewar, Malwa, Bundelkhand, etc. The Aravalli mountain range lies in the northwest of this region. It is one of the oldest mountain ranges. Marble is found in the Aravalli region. The Sambhar Salt Lake lies in the northeastern part of these hills. Guru Shikhar is the highest peak in this range, about 1,722 meters in height. The Vindhya range stretches from east to west. The Marwar Plateau lies towards the western slope of the Aravallis and the Mewar Plateau to the eastern slope. Malwa and Bundelkhand lie towards the east of the plateau. The rivers Chambal, Sindh, Betwa and Ken flow in the northern part of these plateaus. B. The southern plateaus. This region is made up of very ancient rocks. It comprises the Maharashtra Plateau, the Telangana Plateau and the Karnataka Plateau. These plateaus link the Satpura, the Western Ghats, Sahyadri, and the Eastern Ghats. We have Baghelkhand Plateau to the south of the river Son. Chota Nagpur Plateau is to its east. The southern plateau is also known as the Deccan Plateau. The Maharashtra Plateau slopes towards the east. The Ajanta, the Balaghat, and the Mahadev hill ranges are situated here. The Western Ghats run parallel to the Arabian Sea. The Anaimudi Peak, 2,695 meters, is the highest peak in the Western Ghats. The Palghat Pass in the southern part of the Nilgiri Hills divides the Sahyadris into two sections, north and south. The Eastern Ghats run parallel to the Bay of Bengal. Their southern ranges are known as Nalla Mala. The important rivers on this plateau flowing eastwards and crossing the Eastern Ghats have formed deep, narrow gorges. One such gorge formed by the Krishna River at Srisailam is well known. The Indian plateau is made up of very ancient rocks. There is plenty of mineral wealth here. The Chota Nagpur Plateau and the Aravallis are well known for this. The black soil found on the Maharashtra Plateau is suitable for growing cotton. The Lonar Lake here has formed due to a meteorite. 4. The coastal lowlands. The coastal lowlands consist of the eastern coastal lowlands and the western coastal lowlands. The eastern coastal lowland lies between the Eastern Ghats and the Bay of Bengal. The eastern coastal lowland, formed by the deltas of the Mahanadi, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri and their tributaries, is broader in area than the western coastal lowland. There are many lakes like the Chilka, Pulikat and Koleru here. Very few natural harbours are situated here as the coastline is not indented. The area near the western coast is known as the Western Coastal Lowlands. It stretches from the Rann of Kutch to Kanyakumari. It is broader in the north and narrows towards the south. The rivers flow very swiftly through this narrow hilly terrain and many creeks are formed at their mouth when they enter the sea. Many lagoons are formed to the south. They are known as Kyles. Vembanad is one of them. 5. Indian Islands. There are several islands along the coastal region of the Indian peninsula. Some groups of islands in the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal are part of Indian territory. Most of the islands, like Diu near the west coast, are parts that have separated from the mainland. Many islands like Sriharikota along the east coast have formed due to sand deposition. The group of islands in the Arabian Sea is known as Lakshadweep. These islands have formed from coral accumulation. These are small islands that do not rise very high. The Andaman and Nicobar to the east of the Indian mainland are peaks of submerged mountains in the Bay of Bengal. Area-wise, they are bigger and are mountainous at the center. The highest peak here is Saddle Peak, 738 meters. The only active volcano in India is on Barren Island in the Andamans. In the Nicobar group, we have some coral islands.